The Emancipation Proclamation. As the feeling of abolition grew in the North during the Civil War, many Northerners believed that winning the war would not permanently end the issue of slavery. Although President Abraham Lincoln disliked slavery, he did not believe that the federal government had the power to abolish it where it already existed. After the bloody Battle of Antietam, Lincoln decided to authorize the Army to emancipate slavery, issuing the Emancipation Proclamation. Now the war was not only for preserving the Union, but it was a war of abolition. The proclamation did not immediately free any slaves because it applied only to areas of Confederacy. It did not apply to Southern territory already occupied by Union troops and to the slave states that had not seceded. Also, African Americans were now also able to enlist in the Union military. Although the proclamation did not have much practical effect, it had immense symbolic importance. Giving the war a high moral purpose, the proclamation turned the war into a struggle to free slaves. Free African Americans especially welcomed the section that allowed them to enlist in the Union military. Now they could be directly in the fight of ending slavery. The proclamation was not fully accepted in the North. Democrats argued that the proclamation would outrage the Confederates, which would further prolong the war. Many Union soldiers did not support abolition and free blacks, but accepted the proclamation in order to preserve the Union. Just as the Democrats predicted, Confederates were outraged by the proclamation. Confederate President Jefferson Davis stated that the proclamation was the most execrable measure recorded in the history of guilty man. Due to the Emancipation Proclamation, compromise between the sides was no longer an option. The war was now a fight for survival of the way of life for the Confederacy and the Union. One side had to become victorious. The end.